Hey, everybody, it's the coach. This is Thursday Night Football on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles as they match up with the great Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, it's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
This place first opened way back in 1957. We are inside legendary Lambeau Field here in Green Bay. We all know this community lives for its Packers, and the green and gold came out of the tunnel a short time ago, and it was loud. We are ready for football, so are they, as the Packers get set to match up with Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Packer team as we enter play here. They come in 0-3 and in desperate need of a win.
And as a team, you start to feel a little bit snake bit. They need something good to happen right now so they know it's not just them. They think they have the makings of a good team.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Eagles, they come in off the very rare tie a game ago.
And it'll be interesting to see what their mindset is going into this game. Sometimes that can be a deflator, and sometimes that can just really make you mad and more determined the next time out.
Fall is in the air, and the NFL season is in full swing, and we're underway here in Week 4. This fielded at the 2. And a good effort on the return there gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The Packers take the field. Aaron Rodgers at the helm. 2019 marking his 12th season as the Packers starter. 15th season overall. Last year for Rodgers, 25 touchdown passes, just 2 interceptions. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. They'll go with their leading rusher from a season ago. This is Aaron Jones. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. Quickly now, here's a look at the Green Bay offense.
And this certainly doesn't seem like an ideal situation for them because they're coming in on a losing streak, and they've got the quick turnaround right here to Thursday night. But maybe that's for the best. Get right back on the horse and go at it again and not dwell on the losing that they've had in recent weeks.
On second down, it's Jones. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. And we peek at the defense now for Philadelphia.
Playing in his 11th season in the NFL is defensive back Malcolm Jenkins, who entered with the New Orleans Saints as a cornerback before shifting back to safety, where he's had his best years. Terrific football IQ, tremendous tackler, can also guard receivers in the slot.
An early test for this defense. Here we go on 3rd and inches. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And Jones is not going to have the first down as they stop him short. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
And when the defense wins and gives up no yardage on a running play, that's something they can build on and carry themselves forward throughout the game.
So here come the Eagles under 4th-year head coach Doug Peterson. They'll be led out by their 6'5" quarterback out of North Dakota State. It's Carson Wentz.
He didn't have as many throws or plays in college as many of the quarterbacks that were coming out in the draft, but he maximized what he had. Ended up winning 2 national championships as a starting quarterback at North Dakota State.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at the 20. Now it's the all-purpose back. This is Darren Sproles. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down. Here's the offense, and sometimes you got to show love to the big guys.
That you do, and we're talking about Jason Kelsey now, not Travis, his brother, who plays tight end. Jason lines up at center, a threat to go to the Pro Bowl each and every year.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8.
Bravo.
Throwing is Wentz. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Wentz going to throw. Screen pass to Sproles. A good first down call as the screen play gets him 9. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that, because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
A pair of first downs gives them a 1st and 10 up at the 44.
Watch the twist, watch the twist. Two jet. 51, Mike 51. It's just me and you. Hey, orbit.
From the gun, it's Wentz. Completes it to Aguilar. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle first down. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And he's got room. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
This has been a good drive so far, and it's been the running game for the most part that's powered them down there. Another nice burst there, picking up a first down. Now it's 1st and 10, as you said, in the red zone.
Here we go, Pac-Man. Waiting.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line. Let's take a look now at how Green Bay will line up defensively. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
And when people talk about facing a challenge, they are certainly getting one in this ball game, because they're facing the #1 rushing unit in the NFL, which means it's going to be a contest they've got to be prepared for from the first snap.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Check. Lefty.
Now a play fake. Wentz. Flushed out right. And he's going to keep it here. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive. This is taken in by Jeffrey. He's got it. Touchdown, Eagles. Alshon Jeffrey, his first touchdown on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Well, you've got to like that start on both sides of the football. You force the 3 and out, and then you score on your first drive.
Well, I know someone who doesn't like that start.
Well, yeah. The other side.
Yeah, they don't like that at all, right? This is not the way it's supposed to be. But what you just described, that's team football, all right? When you get a 3 and out, you're supposed to take advantage of it on the offensive side of the ball. You said, thank you very much for getting us the rock. Let's put it in the end zone, and they did exactly that.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. And a 3 and out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
We got 4. We got 4. Brings up second.
On second and a couple. Rodgers under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Nigel Bradham flying in and laying the lumber defensively. They said there was a lot of discussion in their defensive team meeting room after last week's performance. They had 7 sacks. Something in the water. There's one in the first quarter.
A lot of discussion, a lot of excitement because now everyone wants to get involved with this. Who's going to continue that process? Who's going to get to the quarterback this week? But they have to be careful. When you have that much pressure, they want to use it against you. Draw. Screens, those types of plays.
We'll see if they do that. Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And he'll go down to the ground at the 39, and obviously that's well short of the first. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. Now a 2-time 1,000-yard rusher for the Bears. This is Jordan Howard. B.J. Goodson there on the tackle.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
To throw, it's Wentz. And he connects with Ertz. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle first down. Wentz going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. Now Sanders. Blake Martinez, the NFC's leading tackler a year ago, in on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They'll try to run for it with Howard. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield.
So far this season, this is an offense that's proved its ability to move the football. I mean, they're in the top 5 in the NFL and picking up first downs, and they get the conversion here. And I think a lot of that is due to how they win on first and second down, because that leaves them third and short, third and manageable. A lot easier to pick them up then, isn't it?
And now a pass dumped off to his running back. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. Call it a loss of 8 yards on the play. And it'll be a second and long. After 7-0 on EA Sports. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Eagles in possession as they've got it with a second down coming up. Throwing on second and long. Wentz. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage, the rookie from Maryland. Well, why do you go out and spend a first-round pick on a defensive back? Plays like that. The rookie gets his first interception.
Exactly right, and you're trying to limit the number of plays an offense runs. You're trying to limit the number of possessions they have. And he was a guy that I targeted coming out of college and rated very highly for his playmaking skills on defense.
And now he has his first career interception. Now a first down carry by Jones. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Rodgers now to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
Let's go. Do it.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. A tale of 2 extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things bounce.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Give the sack to Blake Martinez. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Play action. Now Wentz. And Jeffrey's got it. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
On first down, it's Sanders, and they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, it's Sanders.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The Eagles on 3rd down. No problems to this point. A perfect 5 for 5. This will be 3rd and 6.
Hey, team 6. Team 6.
Working from the gun. Wentz. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5 up to the 25-yard line. Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25.
Brings up 2nd and 5.
Throwing now is Rodgers. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. The Packers on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 5. Now Rodgers. And he's got Rodgers. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll run it with Jones. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38. On the delay, Jones. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
I'm getting the sense that Fletcher Cox is making offensive linemen want to take the week off when they have to play against him.
It's a regular routine for him, isn't it?
It really is. That play there, that's him all day long. Good luck trying to block him and keep him from disrupting your offense.
And he has another 1st down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 45-yard line.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line.
It's a loss of a yard.
Hey, Mike 52, Mike 52.
At the 46-yard line.
On 2nd down now, it's Jones. They'll get only a couple down to the 44. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. Well, this drive, they're a perfect 2 of 2 on 3rd down conversions. But they need a full 10 yards here. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. So a couple of 1st downs on this drive, but it's looking like another empty possession.
And those empty possessions are certainly starting to pile up. So the adjustments that teams talk about all the time have to be taking place. They've got to analyze what's breaking down and figure a way to fix it.
So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
On 1st down, nothing opening up really on the running play. Give him maybe a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. On on 2nd and 9. Wentz.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. Yeah, he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And in their own territory, needing only a few inches, they're going to line up to go for this thing on 4th down. It's a sneak. It's Wentz. And this will depend on the mark. I'm not sure he pushed the line forward. And indeed, he did not. They stop him.
I don't know why you would do that. It's almost guaranteed points the other way. I mean, I get it if it's a late-game situation, maybe even 4th and inches. But, boy, that's a huge risk to take.
Yeah, now they're set up in prime position going the other way. And Graham's got it. Complete. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets them up 1st and goal. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. A first red zone opportunity now for the Packers. They've got a 1st and goal just inside the 5. Now look out, Rodgers lost the football, and it's picked up by the Eagles. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. Past the 20. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. So the turnover forced, and a wonderful job on a big return.
And how about the convoy that got created to help him get all the way back upfield? I mean, that's the part that people miss on. That's practice. That's worked on. It doesn't just happen in a game and everyone rallies. They discuss it prior to, and everyone knows their role when they create a turnover like that.
74. Hey, Charlie.
Now after the fumble recovery, it's Wentz. Flush to his right. He'll try and run it. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down.
Quit talking about it and bring it.
To throw again on 2nd down. Wentz. This is caught. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Eagles able to push further out in front.
And that lead is now 7 with a chance to go to 8 or more if they want to get crazy here, which we don't expect. But I just know the way the game's being played with the analytics, there's going to be a lot more of going for 2 in a lot of situations, isn't there?
Yeah. There's going to be, and I think their focus here, they don't want to give up anything going into the lockers on the other, and just a little bit of time left on the clock.
Yeah, they don't want to do anything to erase the good feeling they have right now by getting this late score in the half.
Here we go. 280.
Tighten up. Pull it together. Check.
Flag. Hey, kill.
Wentz now to throw. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete. He was trying to get that one to Darren Sproles, but it'll be 2nd and goal.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there.
And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. It's the fullback. His first touchdown on the year. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Elliott good on the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. So we come upon halftime with our score 14-0 as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, Charles, thanks very much. Welcome in, everybody, to our EA Sports halftime report. Let's take a look at what we've got on tap as we wrap up the first quarter of the NFL season. One of the best of the early games, we'll highlight it there. The Giants in for a stern test at home at MetLife Stadium as they'll host the Washington Redskins. In the late afternoon games, the place to be might very well be Denver, Colorado, where it'll be the Broncos taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. And finally, on Sunday Night Football, a good one in the Bayou. A couple of division winners from a year ago. Cowboys, Saints, from the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. In our game, it's been Carson Wentz with a strong first half. His guys have a 2-touchdown